Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 1 of my new layout build. It's a switching or shunting layout in NZR, New Zealand Railways. So, for those of you that have subscribed to my new channel, I'm not new to the hobby. I'm a third generation model railway guy, but this is my first foray into NZR. So, I do have another channel under Small Rails 6831 where I have a O gauge British layout as well, but I got the bug. Bought a couple of kits at RailX Wellington. I exhibited my O gauge layout, Pepper Road depot there. But yeah, I previously met Roger and his wife from South Dock Models several years ago, but at that point in time I didn't really have the money to get into NZR modelling. I thought it was a bit too expensive, and I was a bit concerned about my abilities to build the kits from scratch. But here we go, and this channel is about New Zealand model railways and New Zealand railways train spotting, so you'll see a mixture of videos. But anyway, this section here that you can see, it's already been scenic. I built this probably about 9 months ago. I was going to have a go at Australian HO. I lived in Australia for 20 odd years, but I struggled to get into it at the time and was focusing on my O gauge modelling. But I built this, and it didn't have the backdrop on it at the time, and I just kept it. I didn't want to run the risk of wrecking the points trying to lift them up. But anyway, this has been standing in the corner for quite some time, and I thought, well, hey, with a little bit of work, I'm going to improve this and make it suitable for NZR. So yeah, just quickly, so in the last day or so, I've added a small extension, which actually I've built. The front's all going to be painted up and what have you, and I've still got a lot to do on the backdrop. It's not going to stay that particular blue necessarily, but yeah, I've when at home, and that it can be stored upright if need be, but yeah, if I ever exhibit it or move house and I need to get it into a vehicle, which I can't, don't have a van, this section here can actually be removed, so it's got its own separate backboard. It's just a matter of taking out the screws at either side and pulling it off, disconnecting the tracks. So there's going to be a few things that change. This back track may either totally go from where it is now, or it will stay. And sorry, get the camera right, hook into this white point, which is going to be sort of about there. But yeah, I'm thinking I might have an industry sort of in the middle and run the track into here and have that space for rows of trees or some structures, low relief structures in the background. This block of wood's going. This track here is going to be redirected because one of the things I wanted on this layout that was a non-negotiable is a runaround track, which I never had the space for. Well, I probably could have done it, but it would have been a fairly small runaround track. So as you can see, this this is where the layout will tack onto another small module, which will curve around the corner, so it'll be a little bit of an L-shaped layout, which will be the other yard. So that'll be where the trains start from. So you set out your wagons, comes across the bridge and into the yard. This track here will probably be the main line. But yeah, the train can probably arrive on this track or that track. So the running on the track will start from this point here, and down here I'm going to use this other Y point, which I purchased a couple from Iron Horse Hobbies. So by reshaping this track and curving it around with some small sections of track, that will form the other end of the runaround track. And then there should be just enough space, about 32 centimeters, for a head shunt, for say the longest loco, to run down that and then reverse back and run around its train. So for shunting towards the left, then you can push your wagons into the other sidings, or we've got this other short siding here. The loco stay down this end. Anyway, you guys know how runaround tracks work, I'm quite sure. So, and of course there'll be another bit of flexi track that runs down the length of here, which will be another industry, I dare say. So there'll be at least 3 to 4 industries or sidings where wagons can be spotted, dropped off and picked up, and I hope to sort of use like a car card system, like the Americans do, and operate this as prototypically as possible. There's a big shout out to a guy in Australia, Mr. Coleman, I believe his name is, who lives in Perth, Western Australia, but models that has his layout the South Otago Railway, and he has a couple of really nice DJ locomotives, and I've been watching some of his live streams and his videos, and quite inspired about the fun he has shunting wagons around and actually operating this layout prototypically. So that's about all I've done so far. So we're going to have a series of videos showing my progress, maybe a little bit of actual time lapse of how I do certain things, but I'm not going to focus too hard on that because so many YouTubers from around the world show people how to ballast tracks, make various models and what have you, and that's pretty much covered. But it's more about showing you guys what I do and also sharing some running sessions. So as I say, I bought 2 kits from Roger, and he's a bit short of stock after 2 big exhibitions, so I've got some more kits coming probably in the new year. And I've ordered a DFT locomotive body from 3'6", and I found a suitable diesel chassis, which is DCC set up with lights and and provision for sound, which should fit that chassis. So he's a bit backed up, so it may be late December, early January before I get that body. I don't currently have an airbrush, and probably my weakest side of the hobby is painting. So I'm actually going to pay him to actually produce the 3D print body, and also paint it for me and number it so with decals, and it's going to be in Cato Blue, a DFT in Transrail livery is my first one. So yeah, my very first kit build is I'm not going to zoom in too hard here because it's a little bit rough in places. I've never soldered a metal. Essentially, there's a lot of metal and it's a very heavy model. Cast metal pieces before, so it's a little bit rough. But this, as I've showed I've spoken about in my first video, is a test piece. So I hope to purchase another one of these guards vans off Roger, and I should do it right, and I will also hopefully have a airbrush it soon, and then I can use the proper paints that he sells, the lacquer paints, which I believe really need to be used with an airbrush. You can't brush them on, so this is hand brushed. But anyway, it looks the part, and it's going to be there. But what is it's the FM Steel Guards van, so yeah, I want to get another one of those and probably paint that in the right colours, Cato Blue, to suit the era I'm modelling, which is probably will encompass early Kiwi Rail as well, so probably roughly from the mid to late 90s through to 2012, 13, that sort of era. Alright guys, I've waffled on for 12 minutes so far, so yeah, keep watching, share my videos. There's not many New Zealand YouTubers on video. I notice most of our guys share via the Facebook groups and what have you, but I reckon we need to have a presence on YouTube to show our hobby off to the rest of the world, and actually spread the word a bit more than what we're doing. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So there'll also be some progress videos on the other kit, which is a coal hopper. I forget the actual model number of that, but we'll show that in due course and share a lot of good things. Alright, all the very best, take care for now, and that's going to be vacuumed up a bit, but yeah, a fair bit of work is still done there on the creek, but that's some model water. So yeah, bye for now, and keep watching this space, and as always, have fun. This is our happy place. This is our art form. This is our hobby. Bye for now.